What is up, YouTube? As you can see, I'm looking real festive. Juneteenth is around the corner. I wanted to come to you guys with another top 5 video. The last one was very well received and I wanted to do another one. This one focusing on my top 5 self-development books that I would recommend from my library. At the end of the video, I'm going to let you know which book had the most impact on my life personally. I'm going to recommend The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Why would I recommend this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Because I want to be highly effective. Now I'm just messing with you guys. This book is extremely well written. On a readability score, I give it about maybe 4 or 5. And the only reason I make it 4 or 5 is because of the actual length of this book. The book is around 350 pages long, so it will take you some time to get through. But it's very organized. What I like about it's very organized. I'm not gonna give you all the habits in here or give you any spoilers. You could probably find that on other videos on YouTube. But being proactive is one of my favorite habits out of this book. You know, there's always room for improvement every day. So I'm gonna recommend The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It'll give you all around self-development. If you're looking into sharpening your steel, you know, this is one of the books that'll do it for you. This one's gonna kind of be towards black men if you're watching my video. This is The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Alright, this sister, if you don't know who Sherazad Ali is, just do a quick YouTube search, pause this video, do a quick YouTube search, go watch a couple of videos, come back, get at this book. We have our own obstacles we have to overcome as far as communication. You may have been raised in a home where, a single parent home like myself, where you might have not seen black people communicate on the greatest levels. I'm putting that lightly, but and you might carry those forward. Black men, you might have these questions about, you know, black women that you might want answered from a sister who can basically point you in the right directions about some things. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are general accusations. If you can read this book and find one black woman that doesn't fall into any of these criteria, I dare you to try. With this book, we want to improve the way we speak to our women. We want to improve the way we communicate with our black women, enter into a conversation with our sisters, and be more effective in communicating with them. So with this book, I'm gonna give it a readability score of about maybe a 2 out of 10. Pretty easy read. The text is pretty big. It's only 180 pages, so it shouldn't take you long to get through this. I found it to be very interesting to hear how sisters think from a sister, you know what I'm saying? It's not written by some psychologist that sits in, that's talking about sisters in out of context, you know, so it's extremely in context. If you're looking for ways to improve your relationship with black women, I highly recommend this book, and I highly recommend growing in that kind of development. So this is Sherazad Ali's The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. She also has a copy out of The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. I haven't read that. My girlfriend has that book. I'll leave that to the ladies. The next book that I want to discuss is Crucial Conversations. This is written by a number of authors, Patterson, Greene, Macmillan, and Swetzler. But basically what I like about this book, it's like a 2 out of 10, super easy to read. It does start off kind of slow, but if you stay with the book, it'll pick up. So what I like about Crucial Conversations, I like to train like I fight, and everyone is going to enter into a crucial conversation sooner or later. A lot of times before I read this book, I didn't know that I was entering into a crucial conversation because it happens in your subconscious. Your adrenaline starts picking up, you start breathing heavier. Next thing you know, you're in a crucial conversation. When people talk about religion and politics, and you might enter in a crucial conversation with your children, like me, you know, or with your significant other, you might enter into a crucial conversation with them. So the first part that I like about this book is that it lets you be more conscious of the type of conversations that you're having, and next time you enter into one, when you're armed with this knowledge, you'll be greater at navigating that, and so you guys don't end up in a yelling, shouting match, because crucial conversations, man, they take off like that. whether it be about consciousness, whether it be about things around the house, family, crucial conversations. I definitely recommend this book. It's written in a kind of a textbook format, but that's okay. Like I said, it's really short. It's not long at all. So this is more self-development that focuses in communication. Communication is very important with people in general. So I'd like to focus in communication and in this self-development video. All right, the next book we have right here is My People Are Rising by Aaron Dixon. It's a memoir of a Black Panther Party captain. I like to read about history as well. Part of self-development is learning about your past, and I read all about our ancestors, from the most recent ones to ones that never touched America. So part of self-development is learning about your roots and where you came from and what your ancestors had to do to get you to where you are, so you always pay homage. So with this book, man, I love this book. I can get lost in it. The cover is very telltale. You have Aaron Dixon up here, and he's sitting in a cop car with the party uniform on. And the readability of the book is maybe about a 4, pretty easy read. But what I like about the book is you can get lost in this. A lot of times when I was reading the book, I felt like I was back in Seattle with Aaron, on missions with him, and seeing how he developed the Seattle chapter of the Black Panther Party was extremely interesting. So I would put this more in the leisure read, but this is also, learning about your history is a part of self-development. So yes, definitely would recommend this book. All right, last but certainly not least, I want to talk about a book that, one, has had the greatest impact on my life, and two, that I think every Black person should read. The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This book is about personal finance, and it's a huge self-development book. I highly recommend this book. Before I read the book, I was $15,000 in debt. I didn't make a budget. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was basically like the average American citizen, I guess if you want to call it. I couldn't control my finances. I couldn't keep money saved. I could put money away from savings, but keeping it in there always seemed like a challenge. There always seemed to be emergencies. So on a readability factor, it's about a 2 out of 10. It's written in layman's terms. Anybody can understand it. There's tons of stories, and you might try to deny the knowledge that's in this book, but it just makes sense. Dave Ramsey, he packaged this book. What I like about this book the most is he didn't come up with any kind of new strategic ways of making yourself better at your own personal finances. What he did was streamline a method to get out of debt and to amass a nice little nest egg that takes some time, but it works every time. And that's what I like about it. What he tells you to do in this book, if you do them, they will work. If you do them, the methods will work. So like I said, this book has had the most impact on me. I was able to build up a 6-month emergency fund using the methods in this book. I was able to erase all of my debt, including my car payment. I don't own a house yet, but including my car payment. The biggest thing I took from this book, I was able to change my mentality with how I viewed money, and that's the most important part to me. I became a great steward of my money, and I'm very conscious of every dollar that I spend because of this book and the importance. I've started a IRA account from this book. I've started saving for retirement. I'm going to start saving for my son's 529 account, his college fund. Making sure your accounts are fully funded before we get out and take those trips. Taking care of the home front. Basically, this is self-development and personal finance, and personal finance is very tricky because you can't see your money. You can't see what everybody's doing with their money. So it's easy to, personal finance falls by the wayside a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this top 5 personal self-development books that every Black person should read, that every person should read in general, in my opinion, but that every Black person should definitely read. You guys have given me great reception with my last top 5 video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Go ahead and give me a like, and a thumbs up, and let me know what I can improve upon in my comments. And if you guys have a book that you feel should be on here, go ahead and leave the link down in the description. I'll get around to it, and I might even read it and leave a review on it. All right, peace.